Hello, welcome to today's video. I am in the beautiful San Francisco. Behind me is the Golden Gate Bridge. To the left of me is the Alcatraz prison. I kid you not. But hey, this is what it is in San Francisco. Today we are going to discuss how to improve your productivity of your employees. We're talking mostly people management skills, but a little of morale and other things. I want to start off by providing a scenario, and I want you to think in your head what you think the answer is to the scenario before I reach the conclusion. Okay, so you have two employees. One is named Jerry, one is named Rita. Rita always finishes her work on time, but she leaves the minute that clock hits 5 p.m. She's got her coat on, she's out the door. She's consistently in by 9 o'clock and not a minute early, and 5 p.m. she's out that door and home and gone, and she's out there. Then you got Jerry. Jerry is an obsessive worker. He shows up early, stays late, beats his head until things are done. He just is pushing and pushing and trying. He puts his all into the job. Both of them get their work done on time and according to schedule. Which one gets the bonus when you have to give one of them a bonus? Which one? Most people automatically say, Jerry, look how hard he's working. But no. Jerry puts in a heroic effort, but Rita actually plans things properly to get things done on time. So Rita is actually the more efficient employee of the two. She and Jerry both get their work done on time consistently. See, that's the key part of that equation. If one needs this heroic effort to get their work done and the other just does it casually and leaves on time, thank you, helicopter, for adding background noise. We'll just let that pass. Okay. If both your employees get their work done on time consistently, but one has to put a heroic effort in order to do it, and the other one simply does it and finishes on time, plans correctly, and meets all the deadlines and quality expectations, that's the better person in terms of employee, more efficient, more effective. So Rita's the one who really deserves that bonus. Now, how do you actually turn that into reality of what you're doing? Well, there's lots of ways to figure this. Number one is you can trim off the top and trim off the bottom and bonus the top. Now, that's a very harsh thing to do, but there's companies who do this regularly. Every month, the top 10% of productivity, they give bonuses to. The bottom 10% get canned, or warnings, and then eventually canned. Pretty harsh way to run a company, but effective nonetheless. Cool, I'm trying to figure out how to get on that beach while I'm filming. All right, it's effective nonetheless. All right, but it kills morale, honestly. People are like stressed out. They're trying to get that, make sure they don't get canned every month. But again, the people stressed out are the ones putting in that heroic effort. The people who finish on time, on schedule, they're not really stressed out by that. Where's the entrance? Oh God, I just walked past the entrance. I want to go on the beach, man. It's beautiful. San Francisco here. Okay, so now let's talk about some things you can do to boost morale. Because boosting morale will increase efficiency overall. People love their jobs. They tend to do better work. This is not a perfect equation. You always have, oh my God, another helicopter, noisy place. You always have employees who will take advantage and capitalize on all the benefits and milk the company as much as they can, do the minimum amount of work not to get fired, and that's what they do. I don't like those employees, but that's what reality is. Let's talk about morale. What can you do to boost morale, which increases efficiency? Number one, don't be cheap in your office. Holy cow, if you buy like 1-ply toilet paper instead of Charmin, or if you charge your employees for water, I mean bottles of water or something cheap like this, you're stupid. Honestly, you're stupid, because they will resent that and give you less effort, and you're paying them hourly more than the cost of Charmin toilet paper and bottled water and all that stuff. Things that don't cost that much, make sure you're giving that stuff away. I mean, straight up. Lots of companies give free food, free bonuses, free candy. There's no reason not to give candy. Food can get expensive, but candy is junk, man. It costs pennies, this stuff. Don't be cheap. That's an important factor if you're running a company. If you want to have morale, do not be cheap. Do not also be cheap with how you reward your employees. Okay, don't reward them with something they won't care about. I once got a certificate to some place that I didn't want to go from an employer. I'm like, I don't want to go into exactly what it was, but it was something where I would never go there. Like ballet or something like that. I mean, that's not what it was, but it's something equivalent. I'm like, what the heck kind of bonus is that? I don't want to go see ballet, you know. Maybe some people do, but find out what your employees want before you give a bonus like that. Make sure they actually want what you're giving. Also, don't be cheap with your office furnishings and your Wi-Fi and your computer and your hardware. Nobody wants to sit and wait for a stupid broken computer, and you are losing productivity while your employees sit and wait for a stupid broken computer. Spring the extra few bucks to get quality hardware in your office. That will pay back. And also Wi-Fi. If people can't download stuff without bringing the network to a standstill or a crawl, that's stupid. You're just paying employees to wait on the internet. Internet's like $100 a month for the fastest service available in New York City. How much could it be somewhere else where you are? I don't know, but it can't be more than 200 or something for the fastest possible service, unless you have a huge office, in which case all the more reason to spend lots of money on internet, because you have a lot of people and the productivity will go up if they're not waiting on the internet. It's honestly a stupid place to skimp. People put like crappy employees on crappy computers, and they're just sitting there waiting on the machine, or they're breaking, or the hard drives are old and they run slow. I mean, it's so stupid. Do not skip on things like that. Also, make sure that you are aware of ergonomics. If your employees are physically discomforted while they work, they will work less efficient. Buy the best chairs you can find for a reasonable budget. If you have more budget than that, then let your employees select the chair they want and literally buy it for them upon hire. That's another thing, that's another beautiful bonus. Everybody loves to get freebies. See, that's the funny thing. The employees, if you give them a beautiful, free, brand new chair to work off of, first of all, that chair is yours. You own it, you're the employer. Number two, the employee considers that more of a reward than if you gave him a financial reward, like a financial bonus. Like you could give him a $1,000 bonus, him or her, and they would probably be less grateful for that than if you gave them free lunch in the office, the chair of their choice, the computer that's powerful. Those three things together cost less than $1,000 per employee. And yet, I mean, the employee would much rather that. That's the funny thing. Human nature is not logical, it's emotional driven. So if you can do things that the employee feels rewarded, that's so much more important than doing things that pay for of a monetary basis. My apologies, I'm out of breath. Holy cow. The backpack on my back weighs about 35 pounds, which doesn't sound like much until you've been dragging it and holding a camera in one arm and walking up steps just now, which is, that's kind of pathetic. All right, move on from that. Pretend that I'm not out of breath. Okay, you can give your employees all sorts of things, gifts that they would appreciate a lot more than financial gifts. So do not give money bonuses as your primary reward, because it's not valued that much. Some people, they're real hungry for money. They do value that, but they forget it. When it's over, it's done. If you give them something they use every day, like a better computer, a better chair, they actually value that more. It's interesting that way. Next thing is never berate your employees. If you don't like the job they're doing, get rid of them. Straight up, do not berate them. Do not make them unhappy working there, because then they might leave before you're ready to replace them. Make sure people are happy with what they do and that they love their job. Don't make them feel like little stupid minutia items is going to get them in trouble. I once worked in a place where someone in the office was environmentally conscious. And she said, why are we not recycling in this office? They weren't, which was pathetic also. But she said, why are we not recycling? And then she brought in her own recycling bin and started to collect the papers around the office and asked people to throw their papers in there. And she took it on her own whim to go to her own home where the recycling bin was. Like she would recycle it on her own. She literally got penalized for that. She got in trouble. What they said to her was, that was confidential paperwork. Can't take it off premises. I'm like, you must be kidding me. Now, they didn't just say it to her. They made her like feel like she did something terrible wrong and her job was on the line. It was like they literally had like a meeting over this. I'm like, you must be kidding me. You know what her intent was? Gosh. There's so many stupid things like that. I also recall a similar incident. Another helicopter. These things are noisy. I also recall a similar incident at the exact same minutia-driven office where someone was using the color copier to make black and white copies, and like the manager freaked out about how expensive it was every print because it was a color copier. I'm like, you could just tell her to use the black and white one. You don't got to throw a little tantrum there, you know? That is going to make sure she feels like this company has no dough. You're going out of business. You lose your faith in the company like that. If they don't have money for to print a copy, come on. Stupid things like this. Do not kill morale, because that is the way to reduce productivity. Now, I'm running out of breath here a little bit. A more analytical method to increase productivity. Start having every employee fill out a time estimate on every task they do before they start a project. Not an individual task, a project, a set of tasks. Set an estimate every time they start it, and keep a log of when they actually finish, if they are good at self-estimation or not. That's what you want to know. You want to know, can they estimate time reliably? Are they consistently late? Are they consistently overestimating and then wasting the time because they have free time at the end? I don't know. You have to figure out. Most employees are consistently late though. Like 90% are going to always estimate less time needed for the job. Some are better at it than others, but most of your employees will underestimate how long things take. You want to have this log and utilize it to make sure that people are actually doing things in the time frame expected. And that when they say it takes a week to do something, it doesn't take a month. If it does take a month, let it be known. That's it, simple as that. And let them realize that they are also misestimating. That's why you have this log. So it's not just the manager saying, you didn't live up to the schedule. That's okay. Just show the log, they see it for themselves. You don't even have to follow up as long as it's in a format that they can always refer to whenever necessary. So keep a log of every project, every person who's working on it sets a deadline that they feel is reasonable for that project, and follow up and see if they actually finished on time at the end of the project. Simple time management. Now the end time should not be when they finished it, but when it met quality standards, meaning if they did it wrong and they have to go back for another iteration, that counts against the time. So make sure they understand that they're estimating how long it'll take to do it correctly with the level of quality that's acceptable, whatever the role is. Because iterations count against it. Simple as that. Anyway, that's my tips for today. I'm reaching the end of the beach here. It's very beautiful in this direction. You know, that's what I see while I'm filming. So I'm reaching the end of the beach. So I'm reaching the end of the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you don't agree with me, or you do, please share this video anyway. Maybe somebody else will like it. If not, you just enjoy the vicarious walk down the beach with me. All right, share this video, please. Subscribe, like. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah!